guys. So 2 years ago, January 2016, I filmed a vlog called Dear 30-Year-Old Me. It was basically my 28-year-old self talking about what was going on in her life at the time and what she hoped 30-year-old me would be up to at the time. I haven't watched it at all in the last 2 years, and the time has arrived for me to react to that video.
Yeah, I don't know. What do I want to know about the future?
Lauren!
Hi guys! So it's sort of become this accidental tradition of mine to do a New Year's resolution video. Dear future me. First, let me refresh your memory on a few things.
Okay.
2015 ended up being a great year for you.
All right.
An amazing year. You weren't really looking forward to it. Like, you were pretty depressed at the beginning of the year, to be honest. It was time for you to make a change. So you applied to Mercy Ships. You were accepted, and you got to go, and that was pretty much the banner moment of 2015, was those 2 months in September and October spent overseas in Madagascar. There were so many moments where you knew God was present and active in your life.
True.
2015 was like a time of a lot of changes, and your family had to make that transition from leaving a church that you had been actively involved in for 20 years. And so you're in the process of looking for a new church and trying to figure that whole thing out. Like, where is your faith family?
That's amazing too, because God was even faithful in that in 2016, my family started going to Life Church in Livonia. That was just an amazing experience to be a part of that church family.
You have a very close-knit group of friends. Like, your best friend is Autumn. I really hope that hasn't changed.
No.
So going to but I hope that you have expanded even more your friendship circle and everything. I hope that there are people in your life that are lifelong friends, especially people that can hold you accountable.
I've recently made a move. I've already started making friendships here in Minnesota. Those have been friendships that I see a lot of potential for being lifelong friends. And so I'm excited to see how that develops.
While you were in Madagascar, you made a pretty big commitment to stay single for a year. Just because you were letting romance sort of occupy your thoughts, and you were becoming kind of obsessed over the whole search for the
True.
one. And
when was I not? Making that commitment was really hard, but it ended up really, really well. Like, God was definitely working in that commitment, and there was a reason for it.
If you are in a relationship, well done. I hope that he makes you laugh. I hope that he makes you feel beautiful and that you can be yourself. But most importantly, I really hope that he is always pointing you to God and encouraging you to be more and more like Jesus every day.
Well, that's really great, because I'm not only in a relationship, but I got married. He is everything that I described in this video and more. I really, still to this day, I don't fully understand how I got so blessed. One moment that I'll share that has to do with this video, where I knew that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with him, is that he was talking about watching my videos, and that this video in particular was one of his favorites because he wanted to be in my future. Like, the idea of future Lauren excited him. He does. He makes me laugh so much. He makes me feel beautiful. I can't say enough about William. And I'm so glad that I'm his wife.
2016, you're really looking forward to returning to Madagascar.
Yes.
And the plan after I return is, I don't know. It's really up in the air.
Yeah,
so
it was.
I hope that you have a job 2 years from now, and that you are happy with your job, whatever it may be. It might be in nursing, it might be in something completely different. But
no, it's a nursing. Yeah, so when I got back from Madagascar, I spent pretty much the rest of the summer just sort of vegging out and trying to figure out what to do. And then went to Wizarding World of Harry Potter with Casey and Autumn. And then right afterwards, I got a job at a hospital. I worked there for a little over a year, and that was about the time when I got married. to William. Amazing how much changed in a year's time. Now I'm starting a job in Minnesota. I'm nearing the end of my orientation there. Yes, it's in nursing and it's still in the operating room. I'm really just trying to find my footing there and my place there.
Trying to figure out, since you are currently unemployed, figuring out health insurance and whether you should get a credit card, and just being overwhelmed by those simple things. 2 years from now, you're about to turn 31. So I hope that by then you have that a little bit more figured out.
Actually, with this new job, we were talking about health insurance and retirement and the name change thing. Yeah, it was a little bit overwhelming, but I feel like I've handled it better than 28-year-old me. So definite growth there.
I hope you've moved out of your parents' house. It's really nice right now.
And a different
you
state.
Really enjoy being close to your family because you love your family.
I
but
do.
It's time to put your big girl pants on and probably move out if you haven't already. I hope that you're not still in Michigan, because I feel like that would be way too comfortable for you. One of my dreams.
Really interesting that I would say that hope I'm not in Michigan, because that was sort of a struggle that William and I were going through. You know, we were in a long distance relationship, him in Minnesota, me in Michigan, and trying to decide what state to live in. For me, I was very pro Michigan and I was holding on to that. And it's interesting that 28-year-old me had the wisdom of saying that Michigan would be too comfortable for me. And that's what ultimately made clear to me that I was holding on to comfort over just what would be best for us as a couple. And so now I'm in Minnesota.
So I really hope that you are recording music still and writing music and doing cover songs. I hope you're still doing this vlog, because this is a really big outlet for you. You're on the verge of having 200 subscribers, which is kind of cool.
Whoa. On the verge of having 200 subscribers. I need to check this. Hold on. Currently, I have 686 subscribers. So, you done good, kid. And it's not from current Lauren's work, it's from you. And I think really what comes down to it is you did a video that was about circulating nursing, and that has brought a lot of people to your channel. And so I'm hoping that I can produce more videos like that are geared towards nurses, content that nurses and those who would like to be nurses or are interested in the healthcare field would want to watch and would be beneficial for them.
Do you like the purple and blue? Because I really like it.
I miss the purple and blue.
Maybe you think after 30, no more dyeing of the hair, but I think we could rock it. I think we could be an awesome...
I don't know. I don't know if we can rock the colored hair. Maybe short hair again. I've grown out my hair a lot. But now, like, your scrub caps don't really cover your hair like they should anymore. So, I don't know. I keep going back and forth. Like, short hair is, like, really nice to manage.
I hope when you look at me, you're not being overly judgmental. You have this tendency to be really tough on yourself. I hope that you're just very content with yourself.
No, I think you look really cute at 28.
I just hope that your 2018 will be as wonderful as your 2016 will be. I'm the musical nurse. I'll see you real soon. Bye!
Initial thoughts on that. A lot has changed, but it's amazing how much wisdom I had at 28 for where I wanted to be. All right, so now it's time for my words of wisdom to you. Dear 32-year-old me, you've just completed the first 2 weeks of 2018, and so far things have been going really swimmingly. You have a husband who loves you, a job which produces a lot of income for you. You have a church family and a small group that you love. You're starting to grow a friendship circle in Minnesota. 2017 was just a banner year for you. You turned 30 and you had a geek themed party for that, and it was fantastic. You spent most of 2017 really focusing on your relationship with your boyfriend, who became your fiance and then your husband by the end of the year. That has just been the craziest thing that has happened in such a short amount of time. For years and years, you were waiting for that person and worried about the timeline, as you often worry about. You found that you didn't have to. Like, God had you completely in his hands. He knew exactly what your love story was going to be. Right now you're starting this new job in Minnesota, almost done with orientation. You're getting used to a different group of people, and that can always be tough. Something I'm hoping to get into in 2018 is to become part of worship bands again. I've really missed that. At Life Church Livonia, you were really involved in the band there, and you had the opportunity to do that. Right now, because of orientation and because of trying to set up your home together, you just haven't had time to really focus on any music. William's very musical, you're very musical, and I'm sure that this vlog can become an outlet in the meantime before you can start serving again on a worship team. I'm hoping that you figure out your role more as a wife, but I hope that you don't forget what it was like to be single, that your focus isn't entirely on William, but it's also on God, first and foremost. One of the goals for this year is for us to do a devotional together, and so we'll be starting that soon, and I hope that that grows us closer together as a couple, but also spiritually towards God. 2 years from now, it'll be the year 2020, a new decade. I hope that you are starting to think about having kids. That is definitely on the table for you too. Like, you're excited to have kids, but just right now is not the time. I'm looking forward to being a mother someday. I hope that you guys will be in the process of having your own house, like buying your first house. It might be in Minnesota, it might be in a completely different state. Once again, those adulting things are coming into play, and it's just interesting right now that you're learning on how to be self-sufficient, but you're not being completely self-sufficient because you have another person that you're working with. But it's just different not being in your parents' home anymore. I want to remind you how difficult the name change was, just all the different things you had to do to change your last name. Hopefully I did a good enough job that everything has your new last name on it. I hope you and William have gone on a few trips together. Not just the continental US, but I hope that maybe you've gone someplace international or are thinking about going someplace international, because traveling is really an important thing for you, just to experience other cultures. It would be great if you guys did a missions trip together, if you haven't already. So if you're watching this at 32 and realized you haven't gotten around to doing a missions trip together, then maybe it's time to start researching that. When I was 28, I mentioned about Mercy Ships. I would love to be a part of Mercy Ships again. And maybe that'll be the missions trip that you do at 32. And as far as YouTube goes, I hope that when I am 32, I'll still be making vlogs, and that I'm still going to be creating and doing music. I hope that you continue to focus your skills, because sometimes you have the tendency to go in all directions when it comes to skill sets, and maybe in the next 2 years it's more about honing your skills in one area. You're wanting to have the balance between creating what you love, but also creating content that people want to see. You'll still create cover songs and things like that, but maybe sort of find what your style is for YouTube. What is your thing on YouTube? After so many years of doing it, you would think we would have figured it out by now, but hopefully in 32 you've really polished it. As far as your career goes, I hope you're still in nursing. I think you'll still be in the operating room. I'm hoping that in the next 2 years you earn your certification in operating room nursing. It's been a dream of mine for a while, and it was sort of the goal of 2017, but you know, falling in love and getting married sort of became the priority, as it should have been. Anyway, I hope wherever you are, whatever state you're in, whatever country you're in, that you know that William will always be by your side, that God is for you. I hope that you've grown as an individual, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. You still have a lot of growing to do, kid. I'm a musical nurse. I'll see you real soon.